find us in the news feed and connect. And I'm just super excited today to introduce all of you to Peleg, who it's kind of crazy. I only met you a year ago, but I feel like I've known you forever. And Peleg and I have that kind of soul brother sister thing going on. And it's been this just amazing relationship. I so appreciate just your authenticity and your integrity in everything you do. And Peleg has such an amazing background in branding and marketing, and he's really expanded my understanding of what that means. But what I love is, and how I really see him, is being that kind of spiritual teacher and mentor. And he really works with amazing creative people, and also how you work is very creative in helping us just like connect to who we really are and letting that love and letting that service shine out into the world through our businesses and in our lives. So I'm excited just to hang out with you today and share you with the world.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So one of the things that has always intrigued me about you is you've told me that you feel like one of your secret superpowers is that you write love letters to the world and to people you know, and that you also kind of went around the world on your own spiritual journey, and you ask people, how do they love? And I'm just kind of curious to see like what you have for us during this particular time, because there's so much going on in the world, as we all know, and there's so many healers and coaches and facilitators and leaders and creatives who are feeling that nudge and that push to share themselves in some way that's deeper. So I'm just curious, like, how you want to contribute to that conversation and what you might lead us in today.
Wonderful. Well, I want to begin by just helping us all get present and get here, and tune in to love. Tune into love, right? So I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath as I recite a poem by Derek Walcott called Love After Love. And let the words seep in. The time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back to your heart. Give back to your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you've ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelves, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life. So let's feast on our life. There's a lot to feast on. You know, we've been going through an extraordinary time recently, and fear has allowed itself to enter and take over in ways that we're really not used to. And, you know, as grounded as we can be, as we think we are, as experienced as we are in serving people and helping them connect to their heart, we also need that too. We also need to remember that love is here for us too, as coaches and healers, and that it's really important that we take care of that in ourselves and bring that part of ourselves out into the world. I really believe that we have a wonderful opportunity here to dial up our love in ways that we may have not done before, and especially in ways that we present ourselves to the world. You know, oftentimes when I work with coaches and you know, people who are thought leaders, there's also always this notion of, oh, I need to put my message out there into the world, and it needs to, you know, sound right. It needs to sell. It needs to, you know, it oftentimes takes a lot of takes a lot of work to get there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But what we seem to forget is that who we are at our core, what we believe in, the love that we have, when we present that fully to the world, when we show up in a way that authentically helps people connect to that love, right? That's when the magic happens,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So how can we love more is the question. You know, how do you love, Megan?
I know you've asked me that question before, and different pieces come through. So yeah, it feels like in lots of ways, just like starting with myself and being really present with what I'm feeling, and also nurturing the feeling I most want to experience inside of me, right? That like I just notice so often how when we're in a place of uncertainty or fear, overwhelm, like we'll work to try to resolve that in some way.
Yeah.
But then there's also like this beautiful place to sit when you are feeling happy or expansive or harmonious or centered. And
Yeah.
also just be present with that feeling and to nurture that feeling. So that's something I do. And then of course I just love to show up for my clients, and whenever I have that intuitive hit of like what could I offer or share, whether it's a program or something free, to offer it in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, each of us loves in a very unique way. You know,
Uh,
I've traveled for a couple of years and interviewed people and asked them that question. How do
yeah,
you love? And I never received the same answer twice,
right.
because every person approaches love in a very unique way, right? And that's the space that I invite you to remember
Uh-huh.
in you. Like,
Yeah.
how do I love? What's my way of loving? Because that's the way you're actually going to make a difference in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you love is how you work.
Mm-hmm.
How you love is how you show up.
Mm-hmm.
So when we bring attention to that and mindfulness to that, and and choose to show up that way,
Yeah.
that makes all the difference. And it helps us too, because we're connecting to that part of who we are.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your answer? I've never heard your response.
You know, the answer changes daily,
Uh-huh.
because we're ever growing, ever changing beings, you
Yeah.
know. So how I love today may be a little bit different than how I love yesterday, but
Uh-huh.
there's generally a thread, a general theme that always is present in how I love.
Uh-huh.
For me, it's about I love by feeding people,
Mm-hmm.
cooking for my friends. You know,
Great stuff for sure.
I love by serving, really serving
Mm-hmm.
people. I love, by bringing my art into the world. I love by supporting you. It,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's ever changing, but it's a question that I like to ask myself almost every day.
Uh-huh.
How am I going to love today?
Uh-huh.
And watch what happens when you start asking yourself that question more often,
Yep.
because it'll really inspire. It has the potential to inspire you to kind of get connected to that channel, right?
Uh-huh.
Rather than get connected to the fear channel, which is much easier to connect to, because every time you turn the TV on, you get fear. Every time right now, I don't know, people are only speaking about the pandemic. I'm not hearing any other conversations about anything else. So everywhere we go, we are faced with this, kind of doom and gloom. Like, we have no idea where we're heading, and this uncertainty can really throw us off.
Yeah.
So we can choose love. We can choose every day when we wake up. We can choose to ask ourselves, okay, how do I love today?
Mm-hmm.
No. How is that going to be expressed today? In what way can I express that into the world and make a difference
Yeah.
and help me in the process?
Right.
you know.
I love the simplicity of that, because I think oftentimes as coaches and healers, especially for like putting our attention on our clients or how we're growing our business, or we get into brand, right? It kind of gets heady of, I have to have some great way to say this and great visuals, and I got to do X, Y, Z. And to just simplify it back to that space of how am I loving? How can I keep loving? How can I love myself? How can I love those around me? Like that just feels like it just sheds so many layers. And when you were reading the poem, I just love that image of like me at the doorway greeting myself, to imagine, oh, like greeting myself from yesterday, or greeting myself after we've come through this pandemic, or greeting myself in a year from now. Like I'm not going to be the same person. And if I just keep tapping into that love channel, then so much beauty and so much, yumminess is going to come out of that, as opposed to, getting sucked into the fear channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So is there any kind of exercise or any kind of piece you want to give people right now that they can do, or do you just want people to take that question of how do they love into their practice?
That's a powerful practice. It's a really simple question.
Mm-hmm.
When we ask ourselves, when we are in that question, how do I love? It can influence how we show up in many ways, how we show up in our business, how we show up in our intimate relationships,
Mm-hmm.
because it gives us it opens the door for an opportunity to choose how we want to show up.
Yeah.
Right? So I would encourage you to actually ask yourself that question, journal about it. How do I love? See
Mm-hmm.
what comes up.
Mm-hmm.
You may be surprised.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. And if anyone is willing to be tender and brave, I know I saw some answers. Rosemary said, by honoring myself, nurturing myself, being gentle by myself. A lot of comments around like, yes, it's so true. It changes day to day. So if you want to be witnessed and you want to share how you love today, or what that question means to you today, I'd love to see some more comments in the chat box. And I just want to thank you. I so wish you were here to hug you. I just love
I know.
and all the creativity and fun that comes from that. So I know right now we're all using the virtual means, and
Yeah.
I appreciate the technology, and I appreciate all the beauty and wisdom of your words, and like the resonance in your voice. So
Well, thank you for creating this space and this practice of, gathering, people together and connecting to love,
yeah,
and sending this energy out into the world, because God knows we need it right now more than ever.
yeah.
So really blessings on your work.
Thank you. You too. So if you want to find Peleg, it's pelegtop.com. And let's see, this week we're going to also do a sound healing. We have someone coming on to play the didgeridoo, which I can't wait to experience through Zoom.
Oh.
That's really interesting with the sound. So
Yeah.
I want to just thank all of you for coming. As you know, every day at 5 p.m. Eastern, we're just taking a break to take that deep breath, tune into ourselves, and also just send out the positive energy for the world. So thank you, everyone. Big love. Keep loving. We'll see you soon.